The Terry Dodson variant cover of Death Metal Guidebook, #1. So, we're back with the Thought series, and we're talking about the DC Death Metal Guidebook this time. It's basically trying to recap certain events and collect some short stories that showcase and build up to other events in the big crossover event, the Anti-Crisis, as it's also called, and part of the we need to sell more money. We need to get more money, so commission more books. So this focuses on short stories collecting what happened that led to their conquering of the earth, what led to Harley Quinn getting her big gigantic mutt, uh, Aquaman and his exploits, Wonder Woman as the prisoner and as the warden, and what was going on with Batman during all this. So let's dig right into the Dark Knight's Death Metal Guidebook. Earth is turned upside down, shrouded in a realm of darkness after the Justice League's defeat by the cosmic goddess Perpetua. And now the Batman who laughs in his army of Dark Knights, because we need more Batman running around, rule the planet, wreaking havoc on humanity and raining destruction on the world. As Wonder Woman, Superman, Batman, and the other heroes fight to survive in this strange new landscape, one cloaked figure has been observing from the sidelines, creating a guidebook to this new world and its evil leaders in hope of forming a plan for justice and penance. So these short stories are The Fall of Earth, written by Scott Snyder, James Tyrion IV, and Joshua Wilson. And Harley Quinn and the Queen of the Desert is written by Chip Zdarsky. Aquaman in the Umbaboza, I think, is written by Becky Calhoun. And Wonder Woman in Seeds of Hope is written by Vida Alaya. I'm pretty sure I butchered that name. And a Batman story in Dragonlance, written by writer Priest. And that's pretty much it. Editors are Katie Kuber, Andy Marino, and executive editor Murray Javins. So, yeah, Terry Dodson and Rachel Dodson created this variant cover, so that was fun. And now we get to the map illustration by Jared Belando, production design by Darren Robinson. So we get the detailed map now of the world around the transformed Bad Earth, or the Metalverse, and we get some narration from an unknown writer. I want you to close your mind and imagine the world as you know it. Remember for a moment how you felt when you looked up at the bright sky, when you walked down a familiar alley, when you dreamed of the future fast approaching, and then looked up at the stars and I thought, I will make it so. I want you to hold those memories in your mind, the ones that make you feel safe, the ones that make you feel at home, because those memories are all that remains of the world of that was. It's strange how to think how much has changed in only a few short months. That's how all the comfort of home are now confined to dreams. Fall of Earth. Who could have expected how quickly our world would descend into this horror? Who else but me? You see, it was an ordinary day at first, no different than any other. Billions of people going about their lives with their mundane concerns, health, heartache, taxes, also getting offended on social media. That honestly pissed me off for no end. And I had to look up on my Twitter account and found out that I lost 800 followers. I have a life. They scarcely notice when the skies darken and the storms began. Our world has always been an extraordinary one. Often it is easier to keep your head down in the face of a seeming apocalypse. After all, their heroes would surely save the day, wouldn't they? They had so many times before. Of course, what they did know was that the greatest heroes were missing. That they were in the midst of the battling a cosmic goddess, the mother of the multiverse, Perpetua. At least of this multiverse. The other creators are currently off doing who knows what. I think the one above all is currently destroying his again, so we'll see that. Though he hardly ever appears in Marvel's universe, so screw that. And they were losing. And then we get an artwork of the Army of Batmen, Batmage, Bat Darkfather, Bat Kraken, or whatever, Cthulhu, Bat Dinosaur, Super Flash Batman, Batmobile, and Dr. Batman. And that is why no one was prepared when the sky opened up and became dark with Batman. Yeah, at this point, I've been wondering this. So after the events of Metal, you would think the public would be like, no more Batman, no more Batman, because, Batman is destroying life as we know it. And it's not even technically Bruce Wayne's Batman, it's the multiple, endless, dark versions of him. Anyways, the narration continues as Captain Atom and Firestorm are being chased down by bat drones. They swarmed our world, brought here from the dark multiverse, the physical manifestation of the real Batman's deepest fears. I mean, like, it's the real manifestations of all the characters' fears, but Batman is the dominant force because... I don't know. Each of their own twisted minds mirrored the intellect and drive of our world's Batman with none of his moral fiber. They systematically lured these heroes into traps and eliminated them. The West Coast fell first with the destruction of Captain Atom, courtesy of the Batman known as Dr. Arkham. So clearly he's probably based off of Doctor Strange, aka Hugo Strange, the maddest scientist the Batman who had first found among his doubles in the depths of the dark multiverse. Then we get to the Batmage, the most powerful mage in existence, arriving at Themyscira. The Batmage was next to strike. He decided to darken the doorstep of paradise itself, Themyscira, home of the Amazons. Having watched America fall to the Batman, their greatest heroes in all of magic, banded together with the Amazons to stop him. So we see the Justice League Dark team teaming up with the Amazons, so that makes sense. But with only a gesture, the Batmage ripped through the walls, separating our world from the darkest depths of imagination. He unleashed all of hell on the heroes of magic, and in time, they too fell. The Teen Titans and Titans gathered to head off the apocalyptic Batman known as Dogfather, who in his reality had taken down Darkseid and become the Lord of Anti-Life. So Final Crisis clearly went differently. And we see the image of his Robin Bats and the Titans battling as Darkfather just watches. Yeah. Sadly, we do not see Donna Troy kicking ass, or failing miserably to kick ass, but look, beggars can't be choosers. The Suicide Squad took to the oceans to try and stop the unspeakable creature known as Bat-Moment, a cultonic leader of Elder Beasts, which, on its own dark earth, had been freed when Batman was drilling for resources in the deepest oceanic caves. So basically Cthulhu bats. How did that happen? How did it become a bat? Okay, anyways. Then we get to Gotham. Little do they know that something strange was underway in Gotham City. A living city with the mind of Batman. Batman dominates the world! Was growing into a horrifying castle, and the city stretched and changed in its wake. And that is when the Justice League returned to a world already in the grip of terror. They wore failure on their faces. Wonder Woman had used the great strength to face Perpetua, but fell short in the battle. The others demanded to know what she had seen, yet all she remembered was fear. Fear and a blast of energy. But there was no time to negate the past. The present was falling apart. They decided to split up to face the chaos from each of their own home fronts. That was their fatal mistake. For you see, that is exactly what the Batman had planned for. To recreate the Tower of Babel! But they will never strike the goddess! But I had to put X-Men Apocalypse reference somewhere in there. They started picking these heroes off in the matter of hours. So we see detailed images of John, basically the version of what if Batman was the villain in Apocalypse War from Justice League Dark, where yeah, we get the imagery that kind of resembles the idea of what would happen when Darkseid defeated the Justice League with his intelligence. They started picking up the heroes off in a matter of hours. They were leagues of Batmen chosen from each of them. Each Batman ready to take them down if given the chance. Batman who study for lifetimes specifically to defeat their counterparts. So we see John Jones being burned alive by a flame unit. Batman Sinestro, which most likely is based off the Sinestro Corps War, or defeating John Stewart because screw John Stewart. We also see Hawkgirl being beaten down by a Batman Hawk, because how does that work? Okay. Before nightfall, 3 Leaguers were already defeated. and the Batman of our world had put together what was already obvious. Yes, they were losing this battle. Their only hope would be to fight together. So Batman's being chased, an army of mechanical Batmen chasing after him, and one being a gargoyle. They say that there were more than 20 Batmen of the Dark Multiverse on his tail, when the Batman from our world finally made the call to retreat from Gotham. They say that the sonic boom shattered the windows in a dozen cities before the Midwest and East Coast as his escape drew closer. It was over in a matter of seconds. Gotham was ceded to the enemy once and for all. The Flash and Batman called for help. They sought to rally the forces together and make a final stand. But they didn't know that the final battle was already underway. The fall of Superman at the hands of Darkfather was the last gasp of open rebellion. So we see Darkfather Darkseid Batman going ahead and doing his Darkseid pose. Who's with his Holy Kill Robins! A devastating blow to the morale of everyone still resisting on Earth. The battle between Perpetua and Wonder Woman had burned out the sun, but the Batman Who Laughs had a plan for that. He would harness the power of Superman and to fuel the sun, a deadly reminder of the cost of hope under his cruel regime. After the fall of Superman, Aquaman surrendered when he realized that the Behemoth would kill all of the Atlanteans if he did not kneel. Kneel! And meanwhile, Wonder Woman surrendered Themyscira to the Batmage. Wonder Woman did the same to save her sisters, the Amazons. I'm like, the Justice League dark, screw them. All told, it took about a week for the world to fall under the control of the Batman Who Laughs. He took the throne of his new world, and with the power of the Dark Multiverse and Perpetua at his beck and call, he changed the very fabric of reality. Continents twisted and rearranged by his dark designs, remaking our world into his dark image. So we see Batman Who Laughs taking off his standard spike headgear and replacing it with a crown by his goblins, and he bestows the power of cosmic. Humanity was rounded up, and those who had sided with Perpetua and evil were turned into her monstrous army. Those who chose their fallen heroes, they were placed in a crisis antenna that would fuel Perpetua as she destroyed universe after universe. All surviving heroes were hunted down and imprisoned inside of New Apocalypse. I mean, granted, you could just kill them, but, that would make too much sense. The only escape would send them hurling into the heart of the artificial sun powered by Superman. The villains were not spared any horror. They were cast down to the depths of new hell, built from the ashes of Themyscira, with Wonder Woman as their warden. This is what is life left of Earth. Aquaman commanding the sea, a nightmare. Okay, I'm just gonna go back to Darkfather's imprisonment stuff. Just kill them! I mean, Superman, Mr. Miracle, I get you leaving them spared, especially Superman because he's the thing that powers the sun, but why can't you just kill the other heroes? I get, because if we did that, the story would immediately end because they need those heroes, but still. So, we see Aquaman leading his army of ships as part of the deal they made. Harley Quinn in the desert, and the hidden figure says, see it for what he has become. See what my actions have made it. And then we hear someone in the background. To be fair, this moment's been a long time coming if you ask me. And sure enough, it was the Batmage and Batmobile and the Red Devil guy responding to him, and then he said, I free Perpetua from her cell. I unleashed her powers upon this world. Fine then. What are you going to do about it? Just keep on writing your little book. This book isn't what you think. It contains what is, but also what has been forgotten. And at its heart lies the very truth Wonder Woman cannot remember. The one that may destroy her. And then we cut to Lex Luthor being revealed as the narrator and somehow cutting away from where he was talking with the Bat people all the way back to Lobo, saying, this ain't my world. I don't particularly care what happens to it, but for what you're paying me, I'll play along. All I expect of you, Lobo, is that you find the last pieces of death metal before the Batman Who Laughs finds us. The Hall of Doom can only keep us hidden for so long, and I must focus on gathering my own forces. And what forces are those, Chief? It's time for me to get back my Legion. To be continued in Justice League 53. Part of the Doom Metal storyline. Now we cut to the Arkham Wastelands as we get files of locations and everything, and the ruler of that area is Dr. Arkham. Harley to Doc Arkham! Come in, Doc! Harley, Lee, Tracker found something, but it ain't our missing Suicide Squad. Harley did... Hey there, little buddy. Harley Quinn, Metal Queen of the Desert. I take you with me, but this is one of those kind of humanitarian things, not a scrawny puppeteering thing. And then he's attacked by... And then she and the doggy is attacked by what looks to be Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle-like creatures. Well, one of them does. But, yeah. Harley uses the spiked bat and screams, "Nope! I ain't down in the desert been ganged up on by mutants. I'm dying in a champagne-filled bathtub, sprinkled with ashes of my enemies, while Ivy tells me what happened on Tiger King." Editor's note. This story takes place when people liked Tiger King. What? So, yeah, it does seem to indicate that Ivy and Harley know where they are, except I think Harley's losing her mind since Ivy's gone, because she knows I can't watch it because it's triggering. But I still like to hear what happened on it, and then explosion! You gotta be kidding me! And then we see Captain Boomerang! And all muscled out and everything. Harley screaming, "Boomerang! Thank God! Oh man, you look crazy swole! Oh my God, just look at them suicide quads! Time for old Harley to level up to you!" And then she gets radiation poisoning. And surprisingly does not die from it. Alright, I get it. Mutant radiation ain't what it's cracked up to be. Booms, and then she gets hit by Captain Boomerang. And then she just says, nuts. Guess losing it is part of the whole looking really cool deal. Come on, Booms, don't tell me you're just some mindless mutant. I don't want to have to take... And then we see a gigantic version of her favorite pets. That's just eat alive Captain Boomerang and eat his head. And then she says, "Oh my God, little Peppers, you're majestic." Her first love, that it was definitely not the Joker, and then it was an Ivy. Now she's fallen in love with a dog that she's gonna name George. Shame about Boomerang, but life is for the living, yeah? I'm gonna name you George. Now we cut to the 7 Seas, and we're focusing on Aquaman, the Umbozo. So rare a creature even monsters thought it was a myth. Yet here it is, rises before us, tempted from the depths of our fleet of ships, hungry for the souls of my crew. My apologies, friend, but you will have no offering today. Aquaman in the Umbozo! Oh, written by Becky Colin, story and art by her. It was never said that your kind were no more. It was said your kind were no more, that you never were existed in the first place, but I thought I sought you out just the same, and I ask you to join our fight. It doesn't respond. It's unclear if it even understands, or if it's even alive. No matter! It is born of the sea, it will obey. I've heard it called a spirit, a demon, a ghost, whatever it is frightening indeed. Because it looks like a skeletal woman from a horror movie. It mounts, moves, and churns the waters, but it neither speaks nor attacks. Why? There's only one way to get into the bottom of this, and that is down. It doesn't stray from these waters. Something must anchor it to its place. An ancient spell, a talisman, or a curse. I should have known. Do you really think this mindless abomination will aid you, Aquaman? How did you, after all the creatures you've killed, you carry death with you? So I follow the smell. Have you forgotten our bargain? It's now or never. There was never a bargain, and I cannot stand by it any longer. I defy you, Batmobile. Defy? Fool, no one defies me. I am Batmobile. No, wait, that's trademarked by the Batmobile. I'm the Bat-Kraken. Umbozo is the only one of its kind. Destroy it, or I boil the seas and the life within. And then Aquaman stabs the skeletal remains of the curse, and then says, "Good, I release thee. Go, my servant. you be for all time. Man or beast, spirit or demon, this creature was born of the sea, and I, as his protector, have failed in my duty. Wait, does it speak, or is it in my mind? A memory, an echo, words told to me long ago. I pass like night from land to land. I have strange power of speech. That moment that his face I see, I know the man that must hear me. To him my tale I teach. He went like one that hath been stunted. It is of sense forlorn, and a sadder and wiser man he rose the morrow morn. Poetry! Now we got to the hellscape. Hell. And we see a green hand emerging from the cells, grabbing a piece of the desecrated swamp thing's roots. Grow, sweet green, deliver me back to life. Domain murderers, these, and the deeply misunderstood, an inescapable cage. And of course we see Poison Ivy in her decked out green outfit, and her green transformation from the book that we do not like to talk about. The stairway is cut directly into the crust of the earth. The wall grows with a sickling, unnerving light. Poison Ivy's making the run for it. She runs. The desperate need to feel the sun on her face, to feel the breeze on her skin, propels Poison Ivy forward, fear tearing at her as she goes faster and faster. But she is not alone. Turn back, Ivy, before it's too late. Never! I warned you, and it's tackled, and she screams, No! I'd rather die than go back to that cursed hole you've entombed us all in. What the captives couldn't possibly understand, this is not a punishment. They're better off in the dark. You cannot go back to the surface, Ivy. It's for your own good. If you do not believe me, take the lasso. Let me show you the truth. The only truth a jailer knows is the cold darkness of the cage. And her response to defeat Wonder Woman. When I said I'd die, I would happily take you with me, Wonder Woman. I'm sorry for what comes next, Ivy. I am. So what happens was that Poison Ivy, the most dangerous criminal in all of Gotham, and in my opinion, one of the most dangerous supervillains that could be in the whole of DC Universe, because since she controls the plant, she could easily just manipulate the crops to, not be resources of food. But that's beside the point. She uses the ultimate weapon to defeat Wonder Woman. She throws a starfish. Or a star. Most impressive. And then kicks her in the shin to make her fall, and Wonder Woman just says, I'm sorry. Poison Ivy makes her escape, and then comes into something horrifying. Below the surface there is safety and bliss and ignorance, but in the air there is only pain and loss. While Poison Ivy plotted in the dark, the Batman who laughs remade the world into his image. Arrayed, empty, brutal, and burning. It was all Wonder Woman could do to keep his influence from seeping into the strange haven she curated in the underground, to keep her charges' minds untouched. Poison Ivy gets on her knees and screams, What have you done? I know, sister. I know. Later, Poison Ivy's back in her cell, now despairing. Have you come to say I told you so, Wonder Woman? I know the devastation in your heart, Ivy, and I truly am sorry. But as irreparable as things may seem, we found small grains of hope. We will take back our world. How can you know? I seal my vow to you with this, a small bit of green in need of a loving caretaker. Look at you, so delicate, so strong, so beautiful, like a promise. The beginning. So yeah, this was Seeds of Hope, and I actually like the story the best, other than the Fall of Earth. That was my favorite, but this was the second best, mostly because Poison Ivy still seems to be the Poison Ivy before that book that killed her off, then brought her back, and then the book that tried to make her a villain again. But anyways, we got back to Gotham. Batman in All Light dies. And Batman has the Black Lantern ring. Never was explained how he got that. All Light dies. Then we get a gun noise and saying, You remember me, should I? Depends on from where in the multiverse you were rescued. And that's why I shouldn't pull the trigger? There's a better reason, which is your gun is empty. My axe is sharp. Wasting time, X. We have more important work. We need to destroy rock and roll. It was clearly the source of the dark multiverse. So we just forget about him? And we see the return of the Dragonlance. Gotham citizens have been imprisoned by the Joker Dragon is irrelevant. We need to get to the Crypt of Heroes. Again, what the we? Why me? I have my reasons. Make me a list. Use that ring to raise a small army from the dead? Now they're just, what, dragon food? Heck, there's no time for this. Hey, where'd you go, Ears? Wait, it's that thing. Ain't it? The ring talking to ya. All light dies. What's the story? Here's the story, X. We can fight the dragon. We can save the multiverse. Pick one. One as in one bullet? That's gotta be enough to kill it. It's not for the dragon. No? Then what's it for? You'll know when the time comes. Yeah, you see, that's the problem with you guys. You guys, good guys, who dress up like bad guys, who personify evil to achieve good. That ring's got your priorities screwed. Got you resurrecting heroes while forgetting to be one. That's it, huh? Got me all figured out. Empty gun, one bullet, a white one. Not for the dragon, not for the Batman who laughs, but for the light cloaked in the darkness. In case you lose the argument you're having with that ring, here, let's just get it off. The bullet is made from White Lantern energy. It's only fitting. I'm Batman. I was born in the alley where a bullet took my father from me. My dad was a violent drunk who sold me into slavery. Shake a stick at that. Alright. Maybe safeguarding your sanity is safeguarding the multiverse, but yes, Hex, you win. The dragon first. So here's my guess. As I say this, I'll go ahead and hold a container of milk and hold his fire stick, like out of nowhere. I bet that ring could destroy the dragon and fly you to the hero's crypt, but chances are the more you use that thing, the more it owns you. Wasting time, Hex. Why are you fixated on this dragon? You raised the dead to save the living. They deserve better than to be dragon chow. It's why you chose me. I was raised by whatever Apache. Apache respect all living things. Ah, so he was raised by the Indians. Gotcha. I think that's what he was trying to say. They also show respect for the dead. This thing, maybe once was a bird, a horse, whatever. A noble creature who deserved better. Move away now. Already dead, bats. What's it gonna do? Kill me twice? Alright. The flashbang grenade, I understand, but milk? Cryptochrome. C4 is a class of protein that is sensitive to blue light. And it hits the creature. It's how birds, seeds, and navigate Earth's magnetic fields. Enzymes in the milk momentarily blunt the creature's navigation. Yes, Jonah, it's why I chose you. Not an argument, a vow. The blackest night falls from the skies, the darkest grows as all light dies. I once met a man from Nutcocket. Just bad poetry, don't hum at the tune. The Black Lantern Creed ringing in my ears. The Apache Brave deals with the darkness and light, living out the philosophy of the earth within the confines of man. And that's why I chose you. No, you chose me because I'm an ass? No cape, no BS. Well then let's ride. Apache tradition honors the animal, but for the gift of life gift of its life. Giddy up, ears. So yeah, I was completely confused when I read this stuff like 2 times, and I was like, what the hell happened? And why does Batman have a bat controller? I get he's Batman and he needs to batify everything, but come on. So yeah, I think the Joker creature is dead, the Dragonlance, but who knows? But Batman killed, so the ring is clearly corrupting him. So, yeah, that was the entire set of short stories in the guidebook of Death Metal. Like I said, I love the Poison Ivy and the Fall of Earth. The Fall of Earth is my number 1. Poison Ivy and Wonder Woman story is number 2. Harley is number 3, and this Aquaman is number 4, and Batman was the worst of the best. So, yeah, entertaining stories all throughout. I enjoyed it for as much as I could, and I really wanted this variant because it's awesome. But next time when we get back into the swing of things, we got 2 more books to go through other than Speed Metal that comes out this week. But we'll be covering Trinity Crisis and Justice League 53, part of the Doom Metal tie-in. This was Neo Reality Antenna. If you like, comment, subscribe, and donate, stay tuned for more.